Welcome to Oceanology International 2012. With me is Colin Grant. Colin, you're chairing a session. What is your session about and why is it of interest?
Well, the session's got the title Oil and Gas, which is obviously very general, but in fact we've got a focus theme to the session. What we're finding these days is that the new areas of exploitation for the oil and gas industry increasingly are in deep water and cold region or Arctic areas. So the theme around the session will be the challenges faced in those areas and the technologies and skills that are needed to overcome those challenges. So if you like, deep water and Arctic would be a good way of summarising the theme of the session.
Quite a wide-ranging subject. Anything of particular interest, anything topical that's going to be coming up in the papers?
Yes, already we've got some papers in the list, one of which is covering internal waves or solitons in the ocean, which are important for both operations and design of things like marine risers. We've got a joint industry project on that subject that's recently kicked off, and the project manager's coming along to tell us about that project and where it's got to. So I think that will be of interest. We've got some papers around some of the results of activity that took place in the Gulf of Mexico recently, merging things like remote sensing data with numerical models and in situ measurements to improve predictability of oil spills, for instance. We've got work covered on a new guideline document for HSE in the Arctic areas, which has been published by the International Association of Oil and Gas Producers. So I think there's a range of activities that are going to be covered which will be of interest of people who are looking at working in deep water and Arctic areas.
So what's the profile of the speakers that have been invited to the session?
Well, we've got a range of people. We've got academics. The paper on the Gulf of Mexico is from academia. The paper on internal waves is from a consultant. We've got further papers in the line from consultants and a couple of papers that are coming from operators. So covering the whole operator, consultant, academia mix, if you like.
So who do you think would benefit from coming to the session?
I hope that it will appeal to a wide range of people in the industry, not just the different sectors we've just described, you know, whether you're an operator or a consultant or in academia, but also where you are in your career in the industry, both for new folks who are just joining the industry for the first time and wanting to find out what things are going on, all the way through to more seasoned professionals who might be just starting to get involved in places like deep water or the Arctic and want to find out where we are in the oil and gas industry at this time and what the challenges are and what some of the techniques and technologies are available to them to address those challenges.
So if somebody hasn't decided to come to the session yet, what would you say to them to ensure that they turn up?
Well, it's a general session, it's oil and gas, it's covering the themes of deep water and Arctic technologies. Those are increasingly important for the industry, so I think if you're at all involved in those areas, you should come and find out what the latest is and be able to ask questions and interact with the folks in the room.